Did you hear? Some rappers are accusing NBA YoungBoy of cooperating with authorities to get out of prison early. Reports have surfaced suggesting he's been released from federal custody, either sent to a halfway house or already back home. Not long after confirmation came in, he's home. Proof? He jumped on a FaceTime call with Aiden Ross as soon as he got back. DJ Academics also spoke up saying, "I talked to YoungBoy's manager. He's home with his family, under a 30-day curfew and required to stay in a specific location. Be patient. The tour is happening. 2025 belongs to YoungBoy." Still, not everyone's buying it. Some rappers are suspicious about how quickly he got out. No Jumper reported that Famous Richard accused him of working with federal agents. One Instagram post read, "YoungBoy is snitching." This is his third time being released from federal custody in 4 years, and each time was for new charges. On King David, you can't serve just 10 months of a 23-month sentence. I was offered 5 years for a gun the cops pinned on me. YoungBoy has to be working with the police. He might even be the reason Smirk got locked up. What adds fuel to the fire is a video fans caught YoungBoy seen casually walking around in prison just before his release. Alongside that video, another tweet surfaced saying, "Honestly, I kind of believe it too. The timing, the vibe, the way everything is unfolding, it all feels a little too perfect." The tweet continued, "This wouldn't be the first time. Someone played both sides in this game. You never really know who's connected to who. You've got to keep your eyes open." To figure out if YoungBoy really snitched or not, people are now revisiting the exact moment he was released. During his court hearing, things took a strange turn. Somehow, a YoungBoy fan hacked into the court's Zoom session and shouted, "Free YoungBoy!"
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay. Alright, Mr. Galden's case has already been called and it's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
YoungBoy walked into the courtroom with a smile on his face, probably lifted by the surge of fan support he had seen just moments earlier. But as YoungBoy stepped into the courtroom, he did something noteworthy. He signed a legal document stating that while he understands English, his education only goes up to the 8th grade. What's more concerning is that YoungBoy might end up back behind bars. According to court records, on March 10, 2021, he was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm as a convicted felon and possession of an unregistered weapon. At the time, YoungBoy was filming a music video outdoors with a group of friends. Music was blasting, people were dancing, and firearms were being waved around. A woman living down the street noticed the commotion, got alarmed, and called 911. When the police arrived, they immediately recognized YoungBoy and took him into custody.
Today at court, the body cam footage of the officer who put the cuffs on YoungBoy back in September during that music video. The cop comes right up to him, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him. And then YoungBoy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, "Yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me?" That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, "Big dog, help right now. I didn't do nothing. You can search me. I got nothing on me." Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time YoungBoy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. YoungBoy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were going to go and start taking footage from music videos and said, "You held the music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're going to face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws, as applied to kids like NBA YoungBoy from the hood, are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good, long look on what's going on.
With YoungBoy in handcuffs, his videographer scrambled to delete any footage showing him holding a firearm. But the police moved in fast, seizing the camera before anything could be erased. That left federal agents with clear video evidence of YoungBoy holding the weapon. His legal team argued that the camera was taken unlawfully, but the court didn't buy it, allowing the footage to be used as evidence. That's when one well-known rap lawyer remarked,
Hit on NBA YoungBoy who lost the appeal with the federal appeals court. He can take it up to the Supreme Court. What happened? So, the federal judge, the lower court, ruled in his favor. She said that the video of him holding what looks like to be is suppressed. Can't be used at trial against him. The way you guys obtained it, you violated his constitutional rights. Now, the government went to the Fifth Circuit United States Court of Appeals. The Fifth Circuit said, you know what? We have a different decision. We're going to say that the government can use that evidence. It is going to be around.
seeing the case wasn't leaning in YoungBoy's favor, his lawyers knew a plea deal was the best option. Eventually, after some time in court, one was offered. But before finalizing it, there was a surprisingly emotional moment. The judge, reportedly, shared a few encouraging words with YoungBoy. The judge spoke about how his talent and potential had been overshadowed by addiction and expressed hope for his future, wishing him the best once he completed his time behind bars.
Golden, I've seen so many times that good men and women who have a lot of talent and potential, that they can be robbed of that potential when they start to really struggle with their addiction. So I don't want that for you. You seem like a very talented young man. I'm hoping in your future that once you're done with your federal prison time, that you can be really successful on federal probation and have a really bright future where you can reach your full potential in every aspect of your life. Best of luck to you, Mr. Golden.
Thank you, Ron.
That's all I have.
Okay, excuse me.
You may.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
With YoungBoy sentenced to 23 months behind bars, it seemed like he'd be off the radar for a while. But thanks to some sharp legal maneuvering, his lawyer managed to pull off something impressive. In a text message, the lawyer wrote, "I wrapped up YoungBoy's case. He got 23 months, but with how we structured it, credit from another case, he should be out in 3 or 4 months." And that's exactly what happened. After serving just a few months and with jail overcrowding becoming a major concern, officials decided to release him early. In fact, back on March 3rd, Rich the Kid and DJ Academics already seemed to know his release was coming.
Why be there right now? And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was even looking at my Spotify like recap. Yo, I think hip hop is YB has to stay out of jail. Yo, we're thirsty for his shit. It's more music with him. Wait on it.
But YoungBoy's freedom might be short-lived, as he's still facing another pending case. This one stems from him skipping a court appearance, which resulted in additional charges serious enough to get the FBI involved. Agents began monitoring his mansion in Louisiana, waiting for the right moment to move in. Once YoungBoy got into his car and pulled out of the driveway, they started tailing him. As he merged onto the highway, federal agents attempted to pull him over. At first, he complied and stopped, but as soon as the agents stepped out of their vehicle, YoungBoy hit the gas and sped off down the highway. Swerving through traffic, he veered off onto local streets. After putting some distance between himself and the pursuing officers, he ditched the car and took off on foot, a decision that worked against him. He was wearing skinny jeans, designer sneakers, a heavy jacket, and diamond chains which slowed him down. In a wild twist, he ended up sprinting through a fan's backyard, only to be photographed by the fan just seconds before a federal agent appeared in the frame. Despite his efforts, it didn't take long for law enforcement to catch up. With a full team of 10 police cruisers, helicopters, and K-9 units tracking him, the chase came to an inevitable end.
You want to talk to us?
As soon as we're done with everything, we'll take off the handcuffs.
I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this. I'm probably if I had to get committed a crime today.
Okay. All right. Give us a second, okay?
So no one was with you?
Hey, no one gets
So, any statement, any one of those statements?
Mr. Martinez, I don't want to give a statement.
The charges against YoungBoy were no joke. Everything from high-speed evasion to resisting arrest and more. The judge didn't go easy on him, recognizing the seriousness of the situation. But with millions at his disposal and a top-tier legal, Team by his side, YoungBoy was ultimately granted bond for the offenses.
Boy out of California is a $540,000 bond. He put up $500,000 in cash. In addition, he put up as collateral 2 properties worth in excess of $1.5 million, and he has to wear an ankle monitor. However, he's not going to be on house arrest. According to the bond set by the California judge, he simply has to wear the ankle monitor but is otherwise free to travel. Given that the California judge found that these circumstances are sufficient for a YoungBoy, why would a Louisiana judge find any differently? Louisiana judge is looking at the same facts, he's looking at the same charges, and he's making a decision under the exact same federal law. Sure, it's a different court and a different circuit, and the way the laws are applied varies somewhat. It shouldn't vary a lot. If this California judge said, hey, this much money and these restrictions are good, it would be very, very weird for a Louisiana judge to say, oh no amount of money and no restrictions. That would be very uncomfortable.
Given YoungBoy's extensive criminal history, it's surprising that he only received 23 months in his firearms case, though in reality, it ended up being just a few months. He has a chance to turn things around and keep the crime out of his life, but the odds of him doing so seem slim. Early in his career, he was all about the music and got along with everyone. Now, though, he seems to go out of his way to stir up drama, constantly self-snitching through his lyrics. One prime example of YoungBoy's growing animosity toward other artists is his beef with Jada Youngin. When the two barely knew each other, Jay had nothing but praise for YoungBoy's musical abilities, even saying,
YoungBoy, boy, soon we will be making music together. I'm a fan of YoungBoy music. Yeah, we gonna collaborate pretty soon. We just and put on for our state, because when we do, I feel like this is gonna be one of the hardest collaborations.
The two later dropped a collaboration titled Up With Me, but their relationship took a turn after Jay accidentally posted an unreleased YoungBoy track on Instagram. YoungBoy was furious and commented, "Delete this now! I don't know how you even got my song. I don't mess around like that." In response, Jay stood his ground, defending himself and making it clear he wouldn't tolerate any disrespect.
I'm a real, and I stand on everything, you hear me? Ain't no gonna play with me, ain't no this.
Jay fired back at YoungBoy, saying, "You left that comment on my post," but then he got personal, joking, "I was laughing when your baby mama was on me," after photos surfaced of Jay hanging out with YoungBoy's baby mama. In retaliation, YoungBoy seemed to be looking for a confrontation, recording a video in the streets, which led some people to speculate whether YoungBoy might have been behind the hit that eventually led to Jay's passing.
You had free word headhunters, man. Come on, man. Open their mouth, tell them what they was, man. Oh.
Another instance of YoungBoy rubbing fellow rappers the wrong way came when Choa showed support for him back in the day by releasing a track called Free YoungBoy while he was locked up. However, things changed after YoungBoy dropped Bring the Hook in 2022, a track where he repeatedly dissed King Von after his passing. Choa didn't like this and voiced his disapproval, especially with the rap community reacting, "YoungBoy's on demon time right now." In response, YoungBoy released another full project, and rapper Lil Ree shot back saying, "That ain't no demon time. He's just rapping like the rest of these rappers." Choa agreed with Lil Ree's take, adding, "I stamped that YoungBoy lost his mind." This didn't sit well with YoungBoy, who quickly responded with a diss, rapping, "I bet your mama will be destroyed when we send you to God for making statements. Choosing sides about my beef with those boys, I could say I saw it. You could say I was your favorite." Simply put, Choa's dislike of YoungBoy dissing someone who couldn't defend themselves led to the rapper sending a warning his way. But Choa didn't stay silent. He spoke out again in an interview.
Able to defend his name, bro. There be a lot going on within his name about him. When, to me, bro, he a real stand-up dude. It was just unfortunate how it happened. Like, kind of person as a man.
That what you think?
It was funny. I mean, I feel like, it's not serious when it hit the net.
It's fun. It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Good song. Nice bars.